All right, SEC West fans, this is old Rick again, coming back at you. Took last week off because I didn't think anything really of significance was going on in the SEC West. It's all been about this week. Um, I got a real special tomorrow. Me and my buddy Sherelle, we're going to be in Birmingham. We're going to broadcast live tomorrow. We're going to have wrestling matches and boxing and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, I got my other buddy Frank on here is a big time Alabama fan, and I'm going to get him on here, and he's going to tell us why Alabama's going to beat LSU 45 to nothing. Um, well, go ahead, Frank. Tell us how you see the game shaping out.
Well, Rick, you set me up well for that, and I've probably got a lot of LSU haters now since you threw that 45 to nothing out there. But it's going to be a lot closer game than that. Yes, do I feel Alabama is going to win? Yes, I do. Um, Certainly with the defense that they have, the offense, I think we're going to have several offensive weapons. AJ McCarron's been throwing to a plethora of receivers this year, so he's not going to be trying to zero in on one receiver, which Greg McElroy had a habit of doing. But there again, he had Julio Jones. But having the number of receivers we have, the quarterback, I think everybody's going to be impressed with AJ McCarron. I think he's a lot better quarterback than everybody's giving him credit for, at least people in the media. Then you have the beast himself, Trent Richardson. He could be a game changer in itself. So and that's not even taking into account the defense. I think we're as physical as LSU. So the matchup on the defense, it's going to be a herd of gladiators fighting it out, and I think we just got a little more to offer on the offense. I think we're just going to squeak by. I think Alabama's been doing a great job closing games out and really finishing in the fourth quarter, and I think that is where it's going to pay off. They're going to play in the fourth quarter better than they did last year, and that I feel will give us a 3-point edge. Hopefully, a 3-point edge could possibly be a 1-point edge.
So 10 to 7.
Gut feel. I think it could be. Honestly, I think it could be a 10-point, could be a 14-point game. Gut feel. Um, you know, but there again, it could be either way. It could be a 10-point game for us, a 10-point game for LSU. Um, you know, I expect it's going to be, you know, a 10-point game, and my gut feel on that is um, there's going to be a turnover that is going to be pivotal um, for one team or the other. Either LSU makes a big play on defense or Alabama makes a big play on defense, which would give 7 points up there. So yes, everybody wishes it'd be a close game. Even I wish it'd be a close game. Gut feel it could be a 10-point game, but if I were to make a prediction, I'll just throw something out there. I'd say 27-14, 27-17, somewhere around there.
Damn. Well, I did some calculating since we talked this afternoon, and the one thing that jumps out at me that I had to double check my numbers, but I did it. I did this calculation post Bear Bryant, which is only fair for LSU, and so that would take us to win 1983, and the home team in this game, in this series, since 1983. No, 1982 is included, and I started in 1982. That was Bear Bryant's last game. The home team has lost this game 70% of the time. Would you believe that number?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's That's very fair. It's always I've always looked forward to going to Death Valley because it seems like we always have a chance at Death Valley, and vice versa for you guys.
You see, that's why I started this show because, the guys in Las Vegas, they're always talking about home field advantage. They're automatically going to get 3 points for home field advantage. I don't think you can do that in this series. I don't think home field advantage means a whole lot when LSU plays Alabama. In fact, I think it's worse. I think it's a curse.
Well, certainly I don't think the odds makers maybe have been as thorough as you have, Rip.
Well, I mean, it's just stuff the fans see. As far as McCarron goes, I think McCarron's going to be the best quarterback I've ever seen at Alabama. And I haven't started really watching. My first LSU Alabama game I went to, believe it or not, was in '79. It was 3-0, and it was a torrential downpour outside. Alabama won. I think they went on to win the national championship later on that year. But that was my first experience with an Alabama LSU game. I don't know where you were at that time. But I will say, so saying that, that takes us back to '79. I can't remember who the quarterback was in '79. Do you?
Just off the top. Oh yeah. Number 14, Todd. Richard Todd.
Richard Todd. He had an illustrious career in the pros, if I'm not mistaken, with the Jets, I believe.
With the Jets, and then didn't he star in the movie, some B movie, and he kind of quit and decided to try to be a movie star and never did anything after that.
Well, he went to the Saints, too.
Yeah.
Just like Kenny Stabler, I think, went to the Saints.
Yeah.
But my point is, going back to my point, because we're 7 minutes into this thing, I think A.J. McCarron is going to be the best quarterback at Alabama in my football viewing lifetime. But I still think he's a sophomore. He's a true sophomore, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
He's redshirted.
Okay, he's a redshirt sophomore. He hasn't been in a game yet. He hasn't been tested. And we've got one redshirt senior quarterback and one senior quarterback. Both these guys been through the ringer of experience. I just can't see, at this stage in his career, McCarron making the plays necessary to win this game. So, and that's not taking anything away from McCarron. It's just that if you're a sophomore, you're a sophomore. Now, if you're a redshirt sophomore, that's fine, but you're still a sophomore because he didn't play hardly any last year, and when he did, Saban chewed his ass from one end to another. So the key thing I'm looking at is, I'm predicting A.J. McCarron's going to throw 2 interceptions in this game. What would you say about that?
Would he throw 2 interceptions? I don't think he'll throw 2 interceptions. I think, he can definitely throw one just based on, I can't take anything away from the LSU defensive backs, and he's going to be pressured. They're gonna push. The front four is going to push it, and then he could, either get a coverage, throw it into a bad coverage, or make a bad decision. Which obviously throwing into coverage is a bad decision, but and he's been known to do it. And like I said, you brought up that time last year when he got his butt chewed out because he took a risk and threw downfield when he didn't have to, and Saban didn't like that. Hopefully it wouldn't happen. I personally think there's going to be a mistake made by LSU. There's going to be a mistake made by Alabama. Anything past one mistake, the team that makes 2 mistakes will probably lose. Hopefully it isn't McCarron. I think he's definitely proved within 8 games he's battlefield tested, but there again, he's battlefield tested, but not battlefield tested with the team such
I
as
see,
LSU.
and that's where I would disagree with you. I don't think he's been battle tested. I don't think he's been battle tested. I think he's been tested. I think he's done extremely well. At the beginning of the year, I said the biggest question I had at Alabama is how's McCarron going to do? And he's done fine up to this point. But he has not faced a 3rd and 8. He hasn't faced a 3rd and 5. He hasn't faced a 3rd and 11 when he's losing, or in the fourth quarter when the game's on the line, or when he's been under pressure. And part of that's the genius of McElwain. I'll give McElwain credit for that, although I don't like much of McElwain at all. Over the last year, they never should have lost a game with that offense they had. But
That's true, and
ah,
you know um, it's unfortunate. No, they haven't had a whole lot of 3rd and 8s. They're very good at converting 3rd downs. But uh, the 1st and 2nd downs, they've been setting themselves up to short yardage. When you set yourself up for short yardage, you can open up the playbook a little bit more and make plays. You can run a play action, you can pass off of it. It gives you a greater opportunity for success when you have 3rd and short as opposed to 3rd and 8. But in the same token, I don't think LSU's had a lot of 3rd and 8s either. They
we've
convert a
had
lot of
no.
3rd down as well, and there's going to be pressure on Jarrett Lee. Let's not forget those demons can come back and haunt Jarrett Lee from several years ago, where he threw several pick six. I hope not. He's definitely developed and has gotten smarter under Crackthorpe. So, but those demons still can reappear. And it only takes one interception and throwing into bad coverage, and certainly Alabama's going to mix things up. They're going to disguise it, if he doesn't recognize it, one thing you say, I don't think Jarrett Lee has gone against a defense of this caliber, even though they did last year.
He has. He went against this caliber last year and the year before that when he had to play against Rolando McClain. I mean, he's faced this defense 3 times already.
10 people on defense last year.
Huh? Last year Alabama was down on defense. They were. And, he only had one play. He pretty much won the game for us on one play when he had that, what did we have, like a 3rd and 15, and he threw a long pass to Randall, and he hit him, and
yep.
and that was that. And that was just the one play he threw. Year before.
And that was against D. Milliner, true freshman. So,
yeah.
And that's going to be Minzy there. And Minzy's very capable of covering Ruben Randall and Peterson.
Hey, would you agree with me on this? No, I don't know if I agree with this or not, but let me throw this out at you. We only got like 2.5 minutes left. Do you think that one of these two teams are overrated?
No, I think without a doubt these are the top 2 teams in the country. I think they've shown it from the first game through their 8th game. They have basically dominated opponents. Whether people can say Alabama start off first and first and second quarter start off slow, but they finish games. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. LSU has been dominant. Everybody that has gone up against them has been dominated and then physically beat down. And you got 2 physical teams that I believe is a step above everybody else this year as far as physicality, mentally, and emotionally. Everybody has been keeping it in check. It's going to be a great battle. I certainly, I want it to be a close game, but I think turnovers could play a factor in it.
Yeah. Okay, well, look, we done run out of time. I got to stop this, but you say Alabama's going to roll. I'll come on tomorrow night with Sherrill and tell everybody how LSU's going to roll. But I appreciate your time, and I'll go ahead and end this one. I'll pick up the phone and talk with you.